Just put it on.
Yeah,
She said, put it on?
yeah,
I thought she said, make sure they're on. Okay,
I'm ready to talk. So
yeah.
I'll put it on now. Call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Chris Prophet.
Here.
Dennis Purcell.
Here.
Tina Passman. Here. Jeremy Zwicky.
Here.
Sorry. Joe Folsom.
Here.
Claire Learn.
Here.
Kyle Dempsey.
Here.
Bruce.
Here. Okay. For public comment, the public comment policy is changed. For public comment at the beginning of a meeting, you'll be permitted 3 minutes on non-agenda items only. For action items, you may speak at the podium and be permitted 1 minute for your comments during that agenda item. Believe that matches what the Board of Commissioners has set up for their meeting? Okay. With that, do I have any public comment for non-agenda items? Is there anyone online? Okay. Any announcements?
None.
Okay, any correspondence?
None.
Okay, old business. I'll make a motion to approve our minutes of the August 11th meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Joe, second. Do I have any comments from the board? No? Okay, do I have any public comment? Any public comment online? Okay, with that, do I have all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. No sewage planning modules, special exceptions or waivers of land development. We have 2 sketch plans this evening, Harmony Domes. Do we have anyone here from Harmony Domes LDP? Okay.
I am here from Harmony Domes.
Oh, okay. Hello. Good evening.
Can you state your name, please, and the company you're with?
Sorry about that. My name is Michael Evelyn, and I'm here with Harmony Domes.
You're up then to the podium.
Are we on right now for the?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
With excellent timing.
Wow, we just walked in right on time, not a minute to spare.
Yes.
So thank you for your time this evening. I'm Joseph Hunt, engineer and president at JHA Companies. I'm here tonight to present. And by the way, is there a Zoom link, live link for the meeting tonight?
There is, yes.
Okay, is Vas on?
I don't think here we don't have a link. So.
Okay. Is that
Somebody
something?
was online?
Someone
I
was on.
haven't seen Voss log in yet.
Michael Everett.
I don't think the Vast doesn't have the link, so I don't. We never got the link.
Okay, is there a link we can share with one of the other applicants would like to participate?
It's if someone can contact Voss, because I'm on this, it's already been sent to his email.
Okay. May I walk about or do I need to stay at the mic?
What would happen?
There we go. Thank you again. My name is Joe Hunt with JHA Companies. I'm here to present the sketch plan for Harmony Domes. I have my colleague, civil engineer Corey Christian, who's also with me. He's going to take us through the engineer's comment letter here in a moment. But just wanted to present the plan. This is a high-end glamping site, Harmony Domes. You can Google Harmony Domes and see examples of the architecture and the style of units that they're looking to put in. I'll also pass around these architectural renderings. If you flip to the 3rd page, the site plan that's in here is not relevant. That's an old version. So if you flip, this is not in the submission. This is just extra information that you can pass down throughout the board. But again, if you Google Harmony Domes, you'll be able to see examples of their architecture. They have a location that they've also constructed in Colorado. But what they're proposing is a mix of units. I'm going to flip here to the sheet that has that. The sketch plan sheet 2.01. They're proposing 10 geodomes that are geodome 10 and then 10 geodome 7s, a tiny house. There's 15 tiny houses, 5 A-frames, and 22 log cabins for a total of 62 units. This parcel of land is on 310 Howlett Road in Pocono Township. And there's no public sewer or water here. We have done 2 rounds of soil testing with DEP present, and we're scheduling a 3rd round here later this month or early October, and we expect that to be our last round of soils testing here. There is 1 small wetland on the property, and there are some streams off the property, but our scientists did evaluate the entire 52 acres. There's just 1 small wetland that's been delineated and plotted on the map. So the preliminary design layout, as I said, consists of geodomes, tiny house cottages, small log cabins, A-frame cottages, and we're planning on the sewage for an additional potential 6 more units. Each facility will have a maximum occupancy of 4 people, and there will be an office building. And at this site, there'll be no more than 10 employees. So the way the site will function is these are short stay accommodations. People will come, they will arrive, they'll come to a reception area, they'll park in the front parking lot that's shown on your plan there. They will then be received, they'll register, and they'll get on a golf cart and be transported internally through the site. So the intent here is to not allow any vehicle circulation through the property, but they will be escorted and taken to each one of the units. That's generally how the site will function. So with that, I'll stop to see if there's any questions. Yes, sir.
Where's your parking at? I don't see it on this press. Is it down here in the bottom corner? Is this your parking area right here?
Yeah, the parking area is right along Hallett Road, right in the front where the road frontage is.
Yeah. How many parking do you have?
There are, the number is 114. I think per the engineer's review letter and assessment, where we have more than that's required. I think he come up with 72. Something we'll be talking about with the client. But we exceed the offsite parking requirement. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over. So you can see there's 2-way access here on a PennDOT road. We've measured site distance here, and we have adequate site distance. Vehicles will come in, they'll be able to access around that circle and park in the front here. But from there, they'll be escorted back into the property.
Is that all on-site sewage?
That is the plan at this point, on-site sewage. Yes, sir. Stormwater management area. At the sketch plan phase, we're just allocating spaces for potential areas for the stormwater management. So
Could you see units?
there are 62 units on the sketch plan.
Bill, please, or Bruce,
Put your
please turn on your
mic.
mic.
Okay. So 62 units and you have 100 and how many parking places?
111, I think he said.
Or 17.
Yeah, 117.
Okay, so 2 cars per unit, rental unit, plus
Basically.
employees.
Yeah. Yeah, the engineer who reviewed, have you received and read the engineer's review letter or seen that? Or do you have copies of it with you? No. It's in their packet. Okay.
It is.
Remember which comment that was.
The reason I'm confused is in one part of the engineer's review,
Yes.
it says 138 units.
Yeah.
and 3 administration buildings.
Which comment number was that? Do you see that?
5.
Oh, 5, right at the beginning. Okay. Yeah, the second paragraph of his comment says the plan now proposes 62 rental units and notes a total of 10 employees. And he says, therefore, 72 parking spaces are required. 117 parking spaces are proposed at the reception area. An additional 16 spaces are also proposed at the 3 event centers. So
Restaurant on site?
there is not. And those 3 event centers are intended to be used by people who stay in the accommodations. So they won't rent out the accommodations and then also rent out the event spaces to parties coming in and leaving. It's the people that come and stay in the units, they will use the event space.
You said earlier when you first started your remarks that these are primarily short-term stays. Could you define short-term?
Yeah, so short term, over a weekend, 2 nights. What's the longest that's stay that you might allow?
Not like a month.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was curious whether it's weekends or weekly.
yeah.
I mean, it's more.
Okay.
It's more of a vacation stay, rather than someone comes in for a week, they're not gonna live. Oh, I'm sorry. It's more of a vacation, type of thing that a family would come in and stay there for, usually maximum would probably be a week if that's not.
But you're gonna make a maximum. In other words, are you gonna limit, say, this is the max you can stay here 7 days?
I don't know, probably not. We wouldn't say that. If someone comes in and wants to stay, they're paying full month. At this point. It's more of a, I guess, it's a resort. So if someone comes in, they want to stay there for a month, and we would let them stay there for a month.
And do you charge?
If I could,
By the night, exactly.
Yeah, by the night.
Okay.
They won't sign a lease. No one will have a permanent address there. You know, it would function like a hotel, or maybe a long, what do you call those hotels where they have a kitchenette and you would stay like an extended stay. But again, there would be no address. There's no
Yeah.
long-term.
if I could cut in for a moment, this is Michael again from Harmony Domes. We don't offer any form of discounts for long stays. We don't typically allow, like, from our existing properties, we typically don't have anything beyond, I think our maximum is usually about 7-8 days. Sometimes if we have a visitor coming from overseas, usually I think the max I've ever seen them stay was about 12 days. But this is not meant to be any form of long-term lodging. This is meant to, be in and out. Typically just for a short vacation, a short stay, or a stay over with us. However, for example, our Colorado resort, the maximum stay up there is 21 days. And we did that because their Colorado law is 30 days. We want to make sure that there is no one who can claim permanent residency beyond a vacation stay. We also don't allow back-to-back reservations, just to make sure, even if it's the same family, we don't allow that, just to make sure that there is no permanent residency issues that may arise.
Thank you. That was very helpful.
Just a few moments ago, that one of the building is an event center.
It's 3 of the domes are called event centers. 3 of the domes.
Okay, so those 3 buildings that are shown,
Yes.
they're not the event center. Right by the parking lot.
It's the administration building.
So there's one building shown that's the reception area that's in the center of the circle. those other areas that say recreation, they're like outdoor spaces. You could set up a badminton net, or you could throw a ball, like basically a yard. But the event, do you see the event centers that are around the larger loop? There's 3 of them.
I got it.
Okay. Yeah. Did you have another question regarding the event centers?
Are they gonna have food preparation?
So that's a really good question. We questioned the applicant about that as well. All of the food will be outside catered. There will not be a commercial kitchen on site. They will not prepare food on site.
In your sketches here, you have, it looks like little kitchenettes. Are they gonna have kitchenettes in it and restrooms in each dome?
They will.
They said all the food's gonna be prepared off-site. Where are they gonna eat it, the food?
Well, they'll either consume it in an event center, say maybe a family comes and they have a wedding shower, or
Restaurant.
maybe, oh, no, it's not a restaurant. There's no menus. There's no, if they have food, the people that are staying there have arranged for the food, or they put them in contact with local caterers who will bring in the food. Yeah.
Barbecue pits, no barbecue pits or anything like that.
Any outdoor fire pits at the local outside? Yeah, to sit
Barbecue and.
for, yeah. Yes.
The front of these domes have any kind of protection against the rain there? Oh, I'm sorry. The front of the domes, they're open, do they have any protection against rain?
So on the domes, the domes are year round. They're insulated, they're weatherproof. The structure itself is a round dome. And yes, they're rainproof, weatherproof. There's a door that would open and lock and close.
Okay, because these pictures here don't show that they're open on one side.
So which one are you looking at?
Pictures that Bruce has.
So
You're talking about the ones on the lake.
so the smaller half domes that are flat on one side, that's just a different shape. And the doors in the front.
Gonna get in. It does represent the glass front probably, and that's why it looks like it's open. It probably, I don't have the drawings in front of me, but it probably represent the front of the domes are glass, double pane glass.
Yeah, and that's Voss speaking. He's in Colorado where they have one of these
What's the
in
landscape
operation.
makeup?
I'm sorry?
What's the landscape makeup?
The landscape makeup? Well, the site now is entirely wooded. There's some really interesting stone rows in the center of that site. I'm going to guess that historically it was used for agriculture. There were no trees on it, and they piled up these stone rows. We're preserving those to the extent we can. There's also a lot of brush and scrubs in there. So there's going to be tree removal, but the intent is to keep it as natural as possible. Any of the trees that are healthy will remain, and they want it to have a forest feel. You know, when you're there, you're in the woods. You know, as we go through the process, more clarity on what the landscaping will be will be part of future submissions. But certainly, the intent is to have it feel like you're in the woods.
What percentage of the land are you looking to clear? For roads, for the domes and the pools and
Yeah.
wastewater?
As little as possible.
Yeah, no idea.
Let's see if we have a zoning table that talks about that. We did not mark out the areas of clearing because we're so early. But yeah, I mean, the intent is to clear as little as possible. You know, just looking at the site, certainly no more. You know, if you're on the property and you could see it, there's a lot of vegetation there that's really no good. It's brush, it's multiflora rose, it's old pines that are kind of half dead. But any hardwood stands that are, solid, no more than 40%. But the intent would be to replace that and make it have a forest feel. So like you're in the woods. So as little as possible is what they really, I asked that question of the applicant as well, and it was as little as possible.
Are you gonna have any type of security in that system you have there?
So security in terms of,
Security.
yeah,
Fencing?
well, yeah,
Something?
so I don't think any fencing, but the
No, I'm
facility,
talking about personnel.
yeah, I mean, it's a controlled access for one. Okay. And you can only get in one way. In order to get into the property, they're going to control that. No one off the street is going to come in here and drive through that property. They've got to get through the front gate. So their staff will be on the site 24/7. They'll provide the necessary security for someone that's not supposed to be there.
Have you looked at wetlands yet or?
Yes,
not
sir.
yet?
We have.
Where are the wetlands located roughly?
Yeah, so there is one small wetland. We were just talking about those event centers. The easternmost event center, there's a small wetland just to the kind of northwest of
I
that.
see.
Very small here. You see that?
Yep.
Okay. Now to the north and off the property is the Cranberry Creek. And there is I guess they call it the Cranberry Glade. There's a bog in there. Along this property line, we've provided 100-foot buffer off of that property line. And that was one of the comments that came up that the township engineer had raised. And we reviewed your code, and in other areas, it's a 50-foot buffer is required. But here against this, what is it called? The Nature Conservancy, the Cranberry Glade, there's a 75-foot buffer required. We're providing 100 feet from our property line. And when the delineation was done, it went all the way out to the property line and there were no wetlands. The engineer has asked for a delineation of almost a half a mile of wetlands, and they're there, but they're more than 100 feet away. And that is something we'd like to discuss with the engineer about the necessity to delineate basically a half a mile of wetlands where we're already providing 100-foot buffer, and just have a discussion around that.
One other question I got, the roads you have in there, you said you're gonna be using go-karts to go around it, right? Can a fire truck get in there if a fire truck needed to get in there for, a fire?
Yes. The interior roads, the one that comes down the center, believe they're 20 feet. They're designed for two-way traffic, and they've been designed according to your ordinance. These roads that come up the side, they're one way. But to answer your question, yes, they're wide enough to get an ambulance to every one of the units on the property.
What about a fire truck?
Yeah, and they're two-way, so for a fire truck as well. And that full width road, it circulates the site right all the way around. Where it's two-way, where you see the two arrows, we're a full 2 lanes wide.
So getting back to the front of these domes, you said they were gonna be all glass?
Well, I'm not the best person to be answering the questions on the domes themselves, the architecture, but they're hard-sided, they're enclosed, and the domes themselves allow the light in, right? The intent is to you're inside, protected from the elements, but you have the sense that you're outside. So I'm sure there's plenty of privacy screening, so people, have their privacy, and that's why the units are also separated. At the lower levels, is it like a fog, or is the glass?
So just the front of it, there's different structures, but the front of it may be. There's different structures, but just at the front, you may see one of the structures that is front of it is only glass and the back of it would be like a kind of a tent. So just the front of it.
Concerns me is the wildlife, like bears in that area,
Mhm.
quite heavy. And it worries me with kitchenettes that the bears are just gonna go right through the door or the glass.
Through the door and through the glass. It's a tempered double pane glass. It's like more of a, I guess, you have like the double pane doors and like screen like at the house.
Are you
Like
gonna
that.
make sure that everybody goes there are gonna be told how the wildlife in the area
Yes,
is?
that will probably be one of the first things that we have to discuss before when they arrive. We would have to educate them on that for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, no, and then of course trash cans and all of that. We will definitely have to work around that. So.
You know, with looking at your sketch here, there's what, 20 ponds thereabouts, pools, ponds. What are you gonna do for security so kids don't wander into the water? Like the swimming pool rules, you have to have fences around.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think the intent, they're landscape pools. They're,
These are more likely the ones you're looking at is stormwater management. They would probably be fenced off. As also the pools that are on the plans that would be definitely fenced off. It wouldn't be just easy access. The kid would just wander in, you know, through the fence.
yeah. So, Oris, let me show you the plan. So you, or, could you come up? I'll show you the plan so you can see what they're asking about is on the layouts, there's these small pools next to the event centers. And, I think the event centers are the ones you're referring to, correct, sir? Bruce?
yeah,
The-
ponds and pools.
So the pools, like these three, there's three next to the event center. Well, there's four. Yeah, there's the third event center's out here.
A lot of that stuff will be covered under zoning. Zoning will handle a lot of those issues, like things that you're asking. Making sure that fences are around pools and that protections are in place and stuff. We need to, our main purpose here is to stick with answering the main questions and getting the main questions answered with regard to the plan itself. Not so much as what the building looks like or the structure of it or fencing of like that sort. We need to stick more with the plan itself and what's on there, how it's going to work within that piece of land. Zoning is in place to handle a lot of the questions that you're asking, and I don't think these guys are at that stage yet to be able to answer those and to the extent that you're looking. So I think in order to keep it on task and what we're looking to do here tonight, I think we need to get back on track with the plan itself, if that makes sense.
And being a sketch plan, our intent is to come, inform, have you see these questions with the sewage planning testing that's going on. After our third round, we're going to have a sewage facilities planning module that will need to go into DEP, and this planning commission, as well as the county's planning commission, you'll review those. Your sewage enforcement officer signs off on that. And the first formal action on this project will be signing a sewage facilities planning module, because without sewage facilities, this project can't go forward. And we're on our second round. We have good soils. The DEP would like to see a little more testing, and we're planning on doing that here in the next 4 to 8 weeks. And we're at the mercy of the DEP schedule there, but we anticipate really the next time we'll be before this board will be with a sewage planning module. But you'll have seen the plan, you'll understand more about the project. And that would just be step one for sewage planning. DEP would receive that, take action on that. If they approve the planning, it's really our green light to move this project forward to a preliminary land development plan.
So this print that you're showing here actually can change. That's not written in blood right there.
Right. It could change, I would say in minor ways. in minor ways.
Yeah.
You know,
What you're here for tonight, is this to accept the plan?
No,
No.
he's just presenting.
Presenting, okay.
presenting a sketch plan,
Okay.
right?
More feedback.
Yeah. And also you're informed when we do come in with the planning module, you'll have seen this plan and you'll have knowledge. The planning module, and by no means is project approval. You recommend, right? But it's the next step for us to go into DEP. It's one of the agency approvals that your township engineer referenced among several. It's the first one.
Thank you.
So, have you done any research on other glamping ventures that are coming into the township?
I'm familiar with one that I think our firm handled a couple years ago, but no.
There are other people coming in with these ideas, so you might want to look into that as well.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments? Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is the township engineer present? Okay. So did we want to follow up? We have the review engineer, Corey. Would that be okay if we just talk about a couple of the comments before we leave?
Now you want,
If that's okay, it's your meeting.
well, because we didn't accept the plan yet. for
Right.
Approval, would that be better off?
Offline. All right. We'll
Thank
do that. We'll schedule that with you and we appreciate that.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Okay, and then I believe we have Okohan Point up next. That you? Okay. Right. Yes? Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Well, I guess this is on. Good evening. My name is Joe Renko from Black Forest Engineering. I'm here representing the owner of the property who is interested in developing the land. And I'll preface this with, this is also a sketch, and this is a very, very early sketch. Obviously, I think the application that was in before me, it seems like they're a lot further along. This plan really is just to get our foot in the door. And before I spent too much time working on a layout and a more detailed sketch plan, I'm new to this township. Obviously, I've never met you folks before. I wanted to, introduce myself and get some feedback on what your thoughts are. There's obviously, you guys know the township, and there's probably a history with this site. Doesn't look like the easiest site in the world. You've got two steep roads, and then you have a state route in the front. So the things that are, I guess, important are the applicant slash owner. The property is zoned commercial, but he doesn't really have interest in doing a commercial facility. He really would like to do like an apartment building. I believe that the zoning district that is a permitted use for it. He had a preliminary sketch that a previous engineer that was working for him prepared, which is similar to what I had. I tried to dial that one down a little bit, but I think what we still have in front of you is obviously very aggressive. It's got 48 units proposed on it. We don't have enough parking. We're over our impervious coverage. So if something close to this were to continue forward, we would have to go to the zoning hearing board to get multiple variances. So there's a possibility that as we move forward, this plan may scale down. But in general, I guess if it's okay, I would just maybe ask just some preliminary feedback on the access, if the township would be more, I guess, open to or push more for like a state access to Route 611 as opposed to the two township roads. I had a thought on maybe a single access off just Scott Run Drive with an emergency only access out for fire trucks to Rose Street, which the township engineer brought up a lot of helpful information in the review letter. It sounds like it's not really clear if that's a public street or a private street or who owns it, who maintains it. Both Scott Run and Rose Street seem to be deficient on the typical township street standards. So there would be some improvements needed. Technically per the SALDO, sidewalks would be required along every street. And I don't know if that's something that the township would really wish to request, or if that's something that would be possibly able to be deferred. But yeah, just those are just some of the general thoughts I guess I had. And then I guess I'd happy to answer questions and just look for some hopefully positive feedback.
So you're proposing part of the parking to be in a basement type setting?
So the only reason the applicant thought sort of envisioned that because of the grade change of the site, it seemed conducive to have less impact to have the back of the building sort of tucked into grade. So that way that bottom, we'll call it the basement parking garage, sort of acts as a retaining wall, and grade can kind of start to climb up that.
What type of construction are they proposing to build this building out of?
Well, I don't know, concrete. I mean, obviously,
Concrete and steel?
what's that?
Concrete and steel, maybe?
The basement would be all concrete.
Sure.
But then I don't know if the top would, I assume it would be steel framed above we'll call it, I don't know if I should call it the basement floor or the first floor, but there's no plans yet for what this would be.
I think if you have a parking garage below, it should probably be steel and concrete for fire. Just throwing.
Yeah. I'm by no means a building designer, so I'm sure it would be built per code.
How many bedrooms are these units gonna have? 1, 2, 3?
It's a mix of 1 and 2 bedrooms. That's what's proposed. But again, there isn't I'm showing a shell on this plan, on this site plan right now. Again, this is just a sketch plan. The building's not designed, so I don't have an actual, as this progresses in some fashion, we'll come in with an actual architectural layout. So the planning commission can see how many units, what they look like, how many bedrooms, and the layout of all the apartments.
See, you can ask any more real questions and nothing's defined right now.
So you're still open to changing from 4.5 stories to 3.5 stories if need be?
We're
Just-
very open. We're just, like I said, we're here for feedback because we don't know what the township would like to see for this.
Do know I believe on the other side of Scott Run Drive, kind of across from this driveway, is another proposed apartment complex that's having its access off of this road as well. So that could create a little bit of a traffic issue given its location to Scott Run Drive, but that's still also in the design phases as well. So I think there's some coordination with the amount of traffic that those two facilities may. Pardon?
They plan on.
Yes, and but I believe that was dictated by PennDOT. So you may run into a similar situation where PennDOT may not permit you to have access directly from 611, but that could create a little bit of an issue on the Scott Run Drive side. But again, that is still under review and hasn't been finally approved either. So
That one actually has gone to resolution. Yeah, that one's through the board and everything.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so we're just waiting for final plans for recording on that.
Okay, great. So then that is available to compare. Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you.
So thank you. That's very helpful. So in my experience in the past, and most of my work is in the Lehigh Valley. If you're on a state road, PennDOT usually will push if you have access to a local road.
Yeah.
That's where they want you to
And
access
this is
from.
also a little bit of an incline right where that entrance is. So
It's not lovely.
and so you have the incline, and then right up here above that is the entrance from the traffic from the apartment complex that's gonna be across the street. So I just would recommend that a little bit, a lot of review go into this whole little area here.
Okay,
Given its location and proximity to 611 and the additional traffic from the apartment complex that's kind of going across the street.
and your ordinance most likely has a minimum offset distance between driveways or separation distance. So I guess this is again very helpful. Thank you. But maybe we'll have to we could try to get a copy of that so we could see where that proposed driveway or soon to be built driveway, hopefully. Will
Well,
be
that
going in.
it's already, so the road, it's the next road up.
Okay.
Robinwood maybe is the next road up from here. So it's an existing road
Okay.
that's up Scotland Drive from this location, but it seems like this is right in the middle of a pretty steep hill
Yeah.
that people already kind of get stuck on. So I just concern like in the inclement weather, what might happen
Gotcha.
here.
Yep. I got you.
One thing I'd encourage you to do is look at that other development, their traffic plan, and add this to it. Because if we keep adding little pieces and nobody considers what else is going on, it's going to become a nightmare in that intersection.
Yeah. Understood.
Especially at rush hour.
Any other comments, questions, John? Did you?
No, I'd just like to reiterate what you said, at that other apartment complex, we actually pushed PennDOT to have an access onto 611 because we felt that was the safest access, given the steepness of, I think it's Robinwood,
And Scott Run Drive, yeah. Mhm.
and PennDOT said nothing doing. So I don't think PennDOT's going to want you to come out here on 611. You're gonna have to figure out your circulation off the two township streets. If they're both township streets, or if Rose, going to figure out what Rose Street really is,
Okay.
and you're gonna have to take it from there.
I mean, I would certainly be willing, I mean, speaking for the applicant because I'm representing him tonight, but I think the temperature is that it would be more favorable to from the township to access off Route 611. So I would be more than happy to try to request a site meeting with PennDOT and certainly invite you to.
We're not saying that. We're just giving you the benefit of what the last developer experienced when he tried to go on to 611. We're not suggesting that we would prefer you to go on 611.
Okay. Well, okay. I don't think we will, but I just wanted to show you that I'm willing to make a good faith effort to push PennDOT.
Have no doubt.
I don't know. Is there anything else? Any other thoughts? I mean, this is a tough site. It's got some easements on it. It's got stormwater easements. It's got public water and public sewer on
I
it, which
think
is
you
nice.
kind of hinted to this at the beginning of your presentation, and I guess it's finding that happy medium between what's the minimum this can be in order to be financially viable for the applicant. And I guess that's really where you're gonna have to figure out is the minimum still able to get the applicant financially what they need,
Yeah.
but also not create a safety issue
And the
in that area.
Understood. And as I said too, this obviously, the zoning board needs, the way that this is shown right now before you is a sketch, and it would need relief from the zoning board. And it's up to the applicant to prove a hardship to the zoning board that this is what he really needs.
Right.
So I do feel there's a good chance this would get scaled down a little bit, or you folks would see it again.
John, question for you. I know for residential, or I believe for residential, you're only allowed one driveway entrance, per lot. Does that apply to,
No.
does not apply?
No.
Thank you.
I do have a question for Joe, and Joe, maybe you can answer, it, maybe you can't, but what is the fire company's position on access to a building like that? Do they like to see access around the entire building?
Yes, yes.
So you may want to talk to the fire company before you spend,
I can tell you right now, they're gonna wanna get around the whole building.
Okay, I'm
How many stories is it gonna be?
well, it's debatable. It's either going to be four. It's shown right now as 4.5, but if it's probably going to come down to 3.5.
They're gonna wanna get around that. 'Cause
That's off. the
tower
front.
access, everything.
So, and I wouldn't argue that with you, but I guess that's a bridge we'll have to cross down the road, but I don't believe fire code would require access around the entire. Right now, we would be able to provide access around 3 sides of the building, but the way that this is laid out and with the easements and the building restriction lines, we wouldn't be able to get a fire truck around the back of the building.
That you'd have to talk to the chief about.
Understood.
yeah, I'm just bringing that up so that you talk to the chief
Yeah.
sooner rather than after
Yep, we
a
do.
lot of engineering dollars.
Yeah, understand. I appreciate that.
One thing I see just looking at it, I know you're gonna probably end up changing it a little bit. But the winter time when you're piling up snow. I see this big slope facing 611, and I can tell you right now, if it's gonna get plowed, I can see people dumping snow over that bank and it rolling right out into 611. So have you put any thought into where you might put the snow?
So, well, actually, it's a massive drainage swale. So it is 611, but it slopes down the bank
It
and
comes
then
back up. a
and then
little,
comes back
doesn't it?
up.
A lot of land disturbance they're doing.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions or that's it?
Thank
Alright.
you very much for your time.
Yeah, no, thank you for your time.
Okay, we have new plans, and this is for acceptance, lot 1, Trap Hotel, retail LDP 1449. It is complete for us to accept. Okay. Do I have, I'll make a motion to accept. Joe, second. Do I have any comments from the board? Do I have any comments from the public? Anyone online? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, Mountain Edge Village Community Townhouses, I believe. Have someone here?
Didn't give me that piece tonight. This is the wetland reports that. I sent it to you now too.
Good evening. Hi, I'm Deanna Schmoyer with D&D Engineering. In regards to the Mountain Edge Village townhouses, it's one townhouse actually. It's just a townhouse addition that was previously approved back in like the 80s. This development was done. It's the old Ski Side Village. So they're just putting in one more unit to accommodate what was originally approved. So I think it was originally 58 units. This would bring it to 57 units. We actually received a letter from the engineer, which is dated September 8th. And there is a bunch of waiver requests. I didn't know if you guys want to go through these waiver requests, and I would be looking to get some action on the waiver requests tonight if possible.
We weren't given them prior.
What's that?
I wasn't handed them prior.
Oh, you didn't hand it to
delivered
them?
to them.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. So I guess I'm not. Well, then that might be a quick night. I wouldn't have come if I wouldn't have known that.
They do have their whole, in front of them, the whole letters. From.
John, are you?
Do you have the September 8th one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And are you
Well, it's
able to
mostly
see
waiver
the
requests.
Waiver requests.
We can if that's your
Okay.
pleasure.
Well, I mean, if you're here, we can talk about it. If additional time is needed, then
Mhm.
we can at least put it, at least since you're here. If John, okay, and it's in our packet and John's able to speak to it, then does anyone else? Everyone else in a sheet, okay with that?
When?
We have legal online for Lisa.
Okay.
So if there's any legal questions.
Well, we can talk about them, and if we don't feel comfortable voting on them, then we don't have to, but at least we've had an initial discussion since
That's
you're
fine.
here.
Can I just cut in?
Sure.
I'm here on behalf of Lisa. I do not have a copy of this document.
Oh, okay. Then I.
Do you want me to come back then?
I apologize.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, then if, when's the next meeting? 2 weeks? Are you,
That'll be a month in.
or a month? Cause then I'm gonna probably come back in and try to get conditional approval too.
That'll be October
14th probably, because it's
15th.
the 13th 's Columbus Day, so it'll probably be Tuesday, the 14th.
Okay, cause really I am down to mostly waivers. I think there's only, I have to talk to him about something about the stormwater, and then there was a question about permeable pavement. Otherwise, it's cost estimate, maintenance agreement, and there's a lot of waivers. So, cause it is a small scale project, like I said, it was just a townhouse unit building and then the additional parking associated with it with stormwater.
Any commission letter from Monroe County has been provided also within your
Yeah.
packet.
I don't think the waivers, if you want to come back next time, I don't think the waivers will take a lot of time. There, a lot of them are pretty straightforward. And we don't have objections to them, so.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'll call, Amy about that. There's only like one comment I had.
You've got a stormwater comment to work out.
That's the one I wanted to talk to her about. So,
Okay.
okay.
And the letter was forwarded to Lisa, so it's possible she just didn't get it to Erica tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, that is possible. I'm sorry about that.
Not your fault.
This is the first I'm hearing about it.
That was terrible, Lisa.
Okay.
Sorry, Deanna.
I'm going to make a motion to table the Mountain Edge Village Community Townhouses.
Second.
Joe second.
Second.
Okay. And then any comment from the board? Any comment from the audience? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Cranberry Creek Apartments Land Development Plan. Do we have anyone here for that? Okay, given the timing for the deadline for our consideration, I'm going to make a motion that we deny the plan unless we receive a letter of extension by that date. Do I have a second?
I'll
Do I have a second?
Sorry, who seconded?
Joe. Okay, and then do we have any comment from the board? Any comment from the audience? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Solar Electric Power Generation Facility LDP 1446, Blue Wave Solar Summit Road, Swiftwater, PA.
Jeremy, you need to table that now.
Table that?
Yeah, you also need to table it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Cranberry Creek? Okay, sorry. I make a motion to table the Cranberry Creek Apartments Land Development. Do I have a second?
Second.
Claire, second. Any comment? Any comment from the board? Any comment from the public? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, back to Solar Electric Power Generation Facility, LDP 1446, Blue Wave Solar Summit Road, Swiftwater, PA.
I make a motion to deny the application based on the zoning officer's letter.
Do I have a second? Claire, second. Okay, any comment from the board? Any comment from the audience?
Can I just jump in on that with the motion to recommend denial? Has there been any response to the July 10th, 2025 review letter from the engineer?
You haven't received any on
No.
engineering either. Zoning hearing board hasn't heard anything and neither has the engineer.
Okay, and I believe the deadline to appeal to the zoning hearing board has since passed now. I would recommend that the motion to recommend denial include both for the zoning and for the items in the July 10th, 2025 review letter still remain outstanding and have not been responded to
Yeah.
on both grounds.
Joe, you make that motion and Claire, you second that. Okay.
Thank you.
Any comment from the board? Any comment from the audience? And
You have to come up to the thing so we can hear you.
You know the routine, Ellen.
Yes. You've been.
She might know too.
For the public, can you just tell us what the zoning officer said so we know why you're denying it?
Sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Do we,
You have a copy of that letter.
She didn't say her name and if she's Pocono Township.
You're gonna have to come back up and say your name.
I have the letter here. I just don't know what part of the letter should I be reading the whole letter?
I think,
there's
I
four-
think you want the zoning letter, is that correct, Ellen?
Yeah, there was two, the zoning letter, and then I believe there was also
An engineering letter.
an engineering from July 10th.
That's quite voluminous.
Okay, well, if you'd like, I can go over, so for the zoning office. Number one, the property is located in R1 zoning district and has a land area plus or minus 71.9 acres. It's been determined that the proposed use of the property as described would fall under zoning use classification of general industrial uses. Section 470-8 of the township zoning ordinance defines a general industrial use as manufacturing or storage uses which, because of their shipping, storage, and other requirements, are not compatible in close proximity to residential areas. In accordance with section 470-17 and attachment 1, use schedule of the township zoning ordinance, general industrial uses are not permitted within the R1 zoning district. As the proposed use of the property does not classify as an essential service, the requirement outlined in section 470-57D of the township zoning ordinance, which states that unhoused equipment shall be enclosed with a chain link fence 6 feet in height, does not apply. While chapter 470 does not contain specific design regulations pertaining to fencing, any applicable provisions outlined in chapter 390 subdivision and land development must still be met. Okay, does that answer, Ellen?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Any other questions?
Does this mean it's a final denial or could?
So
they
we're
still come
recommending,
back?
so it goes from us to the Board of Commissioners, and then they would take action on our recommendation and go through the next steps,
Thank you.
right? But, okay,
Yes. And it's final as far as the township goes, the applicant could appeal to a higher court.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, so now do I have to table that too? Or no, because we.
No,
Okay, very good. All right, so now we have motion to table the following plans, 135 Warner Road and Alaska Pete's. I'll make a motion to table them. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Kyle, second. Okay, any comment from the board? Any comment from the audience? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. No special exceptions, priority list, unfinished business. The joint work session, that's still ongoing. And do we have a work session scheduled for September 29th?
that is going to be determined at the Board of Commissioners meeting on Monday night
Okay.
based on John's review of everything. If he needs more time, he'll be awarded more time.
I think we're gonna need more time.
Okay, so then.
We're working on it right now. It's a
Okay.
pretty big lift.
Okay.
How much do we have to pay you for that?
Less than me
Okay.
and Nancy.
So for the I didn't ask this question. So for the adjournment, that's an action item, am I?
No, not funny.
Okay, still new on the public comment. Which denial? We did.
We did.
Yes, after I read that, I said all in favor.
Oh.
Yes, I did. Okay. Yeah. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Okay, for Joe and Doc?
Claire.
Oh, Claire? Okay, Joe and Claire. All in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Well, I'll go sometime banana. Thank you very much.
You know, I think.
We could say, we could hold a meeting.
Thank you.
They need to forget about making 6 lanes on 80. They need to make 6 lanes on 611. Cause I mean, you sit in traffic now